Hello and welcome to the classroom. In this video, I'm going to give you a classroom tour. I'm going to talk about all the things you see here in my home classroom, and maybe these will inspire you to have some of these things for your homeschool classroom as well. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about are these alphabet cards. So these came from Teacher Created, and I'll put links below for all of the products that I showed today. I really like these for a couple of reasons. One, they kind of look vintagey, and that's what I was going for, kind of a Little House on the Prairie vibe. So the colors are kind of muted, and I like the watercolor, kind of painted look. Also, I select cards, I make sure that I select cards that have the vowel sounds correct. So like, for example, this is A for apple, and there's E for elephant. I've seen a letter set of cards that have E for eagle, but when you're teaching children how to read, you want to make sure that the picture matches up with the sound, the short sound that you're going to try to teach them first. And also I looked for a set that would be good for handwriting reference. So you can see that this, let me just grab one right here. This has handwriting paper lines. And so it's going to show them where to put everything when they're practicing writing their letters. So this one was a really nice set. And then the way that I have it up here on the board is, or on the wall is, I have Velcro dots here and then Velcro dots there. So I can take these down and change them around as I need to as we work through the alphabet. Okay, so the next thing that I'll show you is the calendar, and it also came from Teacher Created. I went with this chicken wire kind of style, and there is a header for every month of the year, and then you get this blank board. And again, it has the little chicken wire backing. Now you can buy the little calendar pieces separately. So here this month I'm using the little snowflake pieces, and they're not very expensive. You just buy the pack of the pieces. There's one that I'm using this month, and all of winter time I use usually the snowflakes. So I start in December, in January, in February I bought a set with hearts like this. And then in March and April, the spring months, I brought a set that has butterflies. And then in like just the months that don't really have, like maybe the summertime months, I wish I had a watermelon, but they didn't offer that one. I didn't see one, but I usually use this one for the other months or especially for fall. And then I have one more in October. I start using October and November. I use the little pumpkin set. So I have one, two, three, four, five sets of the calendar numbers that go along with this calendar. And those came separate. All right, so then the next thing I want to turn around and show you is my weather bear. And I'm pretty sure I ordered that on Amazon. Again, everything will be linked below. And so this little weather bear is felt. So you can take the pieces on and put them off and on easily. So it comes with the little window is to help you with the seasons. So it's showing summer, and that doesn't come off. But then you can change it to fall. And there's the little window for fall. So you just stick that one up. And then after fall comes winter, which is the one I have up now. And then spring. So you have a little window for all four seasons. The summer again is here already printed on. And then there's one more, which is just a nighttime sky. So, and the neat thing about this is it comes with a whole wardrobe of clothes. So your kids would have so much fun dressing Weather Bear depending on the weather for the day. So we always check the weather, look outside the window, and then we dress Weather Bear appropriately depending on what the weather is. So right now the weather is cold, so we might put on a little long sleeve shirt and maybe even a little snowsuit if it's snowy like that for Weather Bear. And there are just lots of little clothes items and even pajamas for you to dress Weather Bear with. Okay, so the next thing that I'll draw your attention to is my little chalkboard. And this chalkboard I picked because it kind of looked like the old slates from the pioneer days or prairie days. So you can see it looks like this on the back, and here's the front, and it's very heavy. It's very well made, and it just has a little peg that goes right here in the back and allows me to set it on the shelf. So very cool. And it's great for just writing what we're going to be learning today. Like I'll write the theme of the day here, but you could write your memory verse for the week that you're working on, or just use that in many different ways. And of course, I got the little eraser too that goes with it. All right, so the next thing is my little whiteboard. Whiteboards are handy for so many things. You can show how to write a letter when you're doing handwriting time, or you can use it in so many different ways. Your children can use it to practice their writing or whatever, but this is just a very simple one, and it has a little hole drilled in the top. I'll give you a little tip and somebody told me this many, many years ago. In our homeschool classroom, we had a larger whiteboard. I had one for each child. So they had a little desk, and then above their desk, they had a bigger whiteboard that they could get up and write on. And that was actually just shower board from Home Depot. So you can get the clear white shower boards that you would use to just line your shower, and you can cut those, and your Home Depot might cut them for you. You'll have to check on that, but you can cut them to the size that you need them. And we just screwed them to the wall, and each child had their own whiteboard that they could use for study or practice or writing notes or whatever they needed to do. All right, so the next thing is a clipboard. You can't go wrong with the clipboard, especially for homeschool, because you can take your school on the go at times. With a clipboard, your students could put their worksheet here and continue to work, whether you're in the car or wherever you have to go. So a clipboard is a must. Let me show you the bell. This is just a little vintage bell that my children actually got me for, I think Mother's Day or Christmas, and it's just really cool and old-fashioned, and I can use it just for transition time, or maybe even just to say time for school. Let's get started after breakfast. I want to show you just a couple more things. I have this old pickle jar, and it has just some little pointers in it that I've collected over the years. Most of these just came probably from the Dollar Tree, like this finger, but you can use them in so many ways. Little pointers are great, and I use mine for calendar time. When we're doing the calendar, we point and say, what day is it today? So that's very fun. And then another thing that we do is have just a little tin of popsicle sticks, and I'll just pull out one, and that tells us how we're going to count the numbers. So we're going to count like a robot, and so then we count that way, or it might say up and down, and we stand up, sit down as we say each number. Okay, well, I'm looking around to see if I forgot anything. I hope that gave you just a little tour of my little tiny classroom here, and I hope it inspired you to have some great ideas for your own homeschool classroom. If you have an idea of what you want me to make a video on, would you please leave that in the comments below? I appreciate it, and I would love it if you'd subscribe and share with your other homeschool friends. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I want this channel to be a library of learning resources and some encouragement too. Thanks for watching.